I'm live? Ooh, all right. There we go. Well, hello, everybody. Mark Anthony. Welcome back. This is the Vegas Tourist. This is our very first live stream of 2024. It's hopefully going to be a series, huh? I am Mark Anthony, and this is Mondays with Mark because, well, it's Monday. I'm going to say my phone is. Google just did an update on Chrome, and it sucks, just in case you're wondering. All right. Wow. This has been quite the frickin' week. Hang on a second. Let me boost this up just a little bit there. All right. Bum, bum. Okay. All right. So, Super Bowl is over. The Chiefs have won. Taylor Swift has left town, and all can now get back to normal. Yep, my webcam is moving. It's following me around. Sometimes it's a cool off, and sometimes it sucks. Anyway, so Super Bowl happened. Now, there was fewer complaints about Super Bowl than there was about F1 because several reasons. F1 just screwed up the strip for months upon months. And I know, a lot of people online are like, it's just go around it. There was no way around it. For those of you that have never been to Vegas, running parallel to the strip is Interstate 15, which is a major interstate going from California up into Utah. And they decided to tear that up at the exact same time as they tore up the strip to do the F1 Grand Prix. Also, you got to remember the F1 Grand Prix was literally thrown on us. For those of you that know my feelings towards the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority and their CEO, Steve Hill. Steve Hill had his lips surgically connected to the backside of whoever was running the F1. And then once the F1 was done, they surgically removed his lips and put it onto the backside of whoever was in charge of Super Bowl. And he literally just opened up the bank account that's filled with your room tax money, and said, "Oh, you need $50 million. Here's $50 million. Oh, we need $20 million over here. Oh, you're going to tear up the strip and screw it up for the average tourist? Yeah, too bad." And and it wasn't just that; it was also that they screwed up a lot of small businesses, and then they're like, "Hey, we're going to do this all over again next year." We have a 3-year contract with a option to go 10. Several of the businesses that were impacted negatively by the F1 are from the last I heard, they are actually going to go to court and get the LVCVA to cough up some money, since they were paying everyone else freely and without any regard. It's like, oh yeah, okay. So the other nice thing about Super Bowl was that it spread the money around, spread the agony around as well. Where F1, once it was up and running, it was just kind of confined to a very tight area and only to the people who had tickets. Or Super Bowl had things, there were things going all the way up and down strip. The NFL experience, some of the sponsors had things going. Paramount TV took over what's left of the Mirage volcano and put a little marketing thing in there, and you could walk through it. I didn't. Okay, but still, it was the fact that with Super Bowl, everybody was involved up and down the strip, and so the money was spread out. Okay, there's small businesses, the big businesses, the airport was packed. The executive terminals, the executive airfields were just literally packed with cars or planes. Sorry about that, planes. And so, it was interesting just to see how they can just park them all in there. And I mean, they fit a lot of them in there. It's just an amazing thing to see. And then, of course, all the people that were employed for Super Bowl was cool. And they took over the stadium. I think they took over the stadium like middle of January, and then they just built up all. Anyway, it was Super Bowl 4 was financially successful for a lot of people. Where F1 was just successful for MGM, Caesars, and Steve Hill, the CEO of LVCVA. Those are the only three entities that made any money off of F1. A lot of people lost money. So anyway, yeah. And Taylor Swift came in town. Big deal. Okay, all right. No, I did not watch the Super Bowl. And then after that, the big news finally, we got the two big sporting events off the calendar. It's done. Vegas can now settle back in. Normally, the end of February is a very slow time for us. And then rolling into March, as we roll into kind of the middle of March, the NCAA Final Four men's basketball tournament hits at about the same time that spring break hits. And so that's when everything kicks in. It's about the middle of March. I have not looked at to see when the Final Four is played, but Final Eight and the Final Four is kind of the kickoff for Vegas tourism. About March 15th, right in the area, all of the pools open up. The day clubs and all that opens up, and so more things will happen for the average tourist, which is which was my point about F1 the whole time. Is the LVCVA, Caesars, and MGM, yeah, they made $1 billion off of the deal. But it's the fact that they interrupted, for almost 6 months, they interrupted the average everyday tourist. The mom and pop, the families, the groups that come out here for 3-4 days, put it this way, the ones who used to come out here 2 to 3 times a year, now they come out once every couple of years. And after the F1 debacle, I think yes, we're getting record number of tourists, which is beautiful. I love the fact that we're getting record number of tourists, and the Chinese market hasn't even opened back up yet. So numbers are great. However, the number of repeat tourists, those that are coming back later this year or maybe next year, keeps going down. Okay, so yeah, more and more people are coming here, but that's it. Especially those that were inconvenienced by the F1 chaos. It's just that the $50 room fees, the $20 drinks, the $5 service charge that's added at the bottom of your check that you don't know about. Been there, done that, going elsewhere. Bye. And the LVCVA, Steve Hill, don't see that, and they don't care to see that. They don't care. It's just, last year we had 50 million tourists. This year we'll probably have the same amount. So if you don't screw up the strip traffic, we like it. Okay, which brings us to the other BS that's going on is baseball. The Oakland A's. That's been a cluster since day one. The local media and the world media has treated Vegas as if we were Iowa. You know, oh my God, we're getting a professional baseball team. Oh my God, this is so good. No, it isn't. You know, um, especially that team. Okay, here's the thing. The NHL said, you're a wonderful market. We're going to give you your very own NHL team. Cool. They win. 5 out of the 6 years that they've been in existence, they went to the Stanley Cup playoffs. You know, and then last year they won it. Cool. You give us the Oakland Trash. They have no idea what a win is. And now you want to give us the worst team in baseball history. No. Give us our own team. You know, we're 2.7 million people. We get 50 million tourists a year. Here, give us our own team. On top of that, this snake oil salesman that owns the A's, you know, for the last 2 years, the sports media have been covering every minute of this guy's life. Oh my God, he's in Vegas. Oh my God, you know, he went here, he went there, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a rat's ass. You know, Vegas, we normally don't get excited on, you know, anything. I mean, 6 months ago, down in Dubai, they announced that there's this moon planet hotel they're going to build. There's this developer that came down there and sold them on the idea of building this huge resort in the shape of a planet, blah, blah, blah. He tried that here like 4, 5, 6 times. Nobody went with it, you know, and the dream projects that people even today still come out here and go, hey, we're going to do this, and they put a flag in, flag in the dirt and say, you know, we're going to build this, blah blah blah. We don't get serious until we see a shovel. Okay. The snake oil salesman that owns the Oakland A's, about a mile away from the Allegiant Stadium was the Wild Wild West casino, truck parking lot, whatever. And, you know, he comes on, you know, we have an ironclad deal to build a stadium here. This is going to be it. This is it. We've got an ironclad deal. And like a week later, he comes out and we have an ironclad deal to build the Tropicana. Okay. And then our state legislator steps up and says, here's $300 million. Go for it. And here we are, almost a year later, and nothing. The fact that the Tropicana said, okay, I think it's April 20th is when they're going to close, and then they're supposed to tear it down, but we have yet to see any real. The final renderings were supposed to be already posted, but at the last minute they were pulled back because, well, we decided to put a hotel next to it, so now we have to go back and redo the rendering. So we're not going to show you anything. This is like that basketball arena at the north end of the Strip next to the Fontainebleau. You know, the scam artist behind that one is just, you know, I've got the money. Well, I really can't show you that I have the money, but just trust me, I got the money, you know, and we're going on. That hole's been there, 15 years? I mean, they shut down Wet and Wild, and then they started to build the Fontainebleau, and then right in front of the Fontainebleau, they dug this hole, which was supposed to be a basketball stadium. So the Fontainebleau sat there for 15 years, and then, you know, last year we finally opened it, but that hole is still there 15 years later. And, you know, the guy says, you know, I'm going to build a basketball stadium. Show us the money. Now, in that case, he did dig a hole, all right, figuratively as well. at the south end of the strip, right across from the Welcome to Vegas sign, these guys started to build the Dream Resort, and apparently it was a dream because they got the foundation built, and that's as far as they went. So, seriously, now, recently, Las Vegas Mayor Carylon Goodman. What a fraud she's been! Holy cow! When I moved here in 2001, her husband Oscar, the former mob attorney, was our mayor for the city of Las Vegas. Now, the Strip is not in the city of Las Vegas, but what happens in the city of Vegas impacts the Strip. Okay, so anyway, we loved Oscar because Oscar had no filter. And you'd ask Oscar a question, he would give you his answer, and he'd tell you, "This is my answer." Well, that was offensive. That blah blah blah. If you didn't like the answer, he would tell you, "You should have never asked me the question." The only political position we have in the state of Nevada that is term limit is the mayor of Las Vegas, and so he served his 3 terms, and then his wife came in. Well, his wife, she ran a school, and she was basically funded by the brothers who own Station Casinos. They own about a dozen off-strip casinos. They are the guys that brought us the UFC, which they recently sold for $4 billion. Okay, so nobody else wanted Sharon. She was riding on her husband's name. Anyway, she's just been a complete disaster for the city of Vegas. And she came out this past week and said, the Oakland A's should stay in Oakland, and that just caused this huge blow up on social media. And so she comes back and she backtracks. Well, that's not exactly what I meant. And a lot of us were going, "Oh God, where's Oscar when you need him?" Oscar would have said, "Go screw yourself. We don't need the team here. We don't want the team here." No matter what the internet says, that's what I think. And her original theory on that, looking at my hair here, was the same thing. Building it where the Tropicana is the stupidest idea. It just makes no sense when you've already had this ironclad contract to build on the old Wild West site, which is off the Strip, but it's close enough. It's just parallel to Allegiant Stadium. Would not have the traffic hassles, would not have the parking hassles, would not have just the hassles that are going to come with this on building this on the Strip. First of all, it's just going to screw up traffic, and then just every weekend or every day they have a game there or a show there. It's just that is like one of the busiest corners in the world. I think it's like the 8th or 9th busiest busiest intersection in the world. And they're going to have to close off 2 lanes to build, on both sides to demolish the Tropicana and then to build a new one. But again, in my mind, until I see a crane there or I see a backhoe, this is all just fluff. This is all just clickbait. Okay. One of my tour guests was very, very correct when he's anxious for us to get a baseball team here and for the stadium to be built, because I forgot what city he's from, Philadelphia or one of those East Coast. And he goes, "Yeah, I can come to Vegas to watch our team win because it's just like the Raiders. There's a 90% chance that going up against the Raiders, your team is going to win." That's how it is. I mean, our team is like the Harlem Globetrotters. It's or whatever that team is, the Washington whatever, that go up against the Harlem Globetrotters. That's our Raiders. Okay, so baseball on the Strip. Now, here's the other thing that I think the reason they've delayed the releasing the drawings is they finally wised up and said, maybe we should run this past the Federal Aviation Administration, since we're going to be right in the flight path or the zone for the flight path. Remember, Allegiant Stadium was supposed to be a retractable roof, but the FAA said no, that it's too tall. So if you look at Allegiant Stadium, they actually had to put it into the ground. I forgot 100 feet or something like that, because it was too tall, and it had a retractable roof, which they did not want for security purposes, because it's in the flight path. And so with the with the Oakland A's stadium, they want a partial roof. Either you're going to have a roof or you're not. This is Vegas. The summertime, we get 100, 120 degrees. We get these pounding rains 3 or 4 times a year. You're going to need a dome stadium, pure and simple. People are not going to sit out in the sun and bake, especially after paying $200 for a ticket. So nobody asks the FAA, what is our limit? Because we are right up against, we are, 1,000 feet from the runway. So in my mind, that's probably what the actual reason for the big delay is trying to design a stadium that will pass FAA clearances. So they may just at the last minute, they just may end up back at the Wild West site, which would be nice. Build it there. I have no problem there. Just for tourism, for the sake of traffic and congestion, put it off the strip. All right, just put it off the strip. Okay. But again, until I see that crane in there or I see that backhoe in there, this is just clickbait. Then we got basketball. Okay. If you want to jump in on chat, guys, go ahead. Basketball. Now, like I said earlier, 15 years ago, this ex-basketball player brought in an investment team, and they bought this land, which used to be the Wet and Wild site, and they dug a hole. And this is going to be 15 years ago, this was a $2 billion project. Now it's like $6 billion or $4 billion. They're going to put a hotel there and all that. And then finally someone says, you have the Fontainebleau. You have a hotel there. Okay, so now they are cutting back. Now, recently, another development company down at the south end of the strip, down by the M Resort, said, "Hey, we bought land. We have the experience. We have the funds. We're going to build a stadium here at the south end of the strip." Now, they haven't done anything. They just own the land. Okay, so this can still be a fairy tale dream. However, the people behind it are very well known, and they are financed. They can do it. They've done it before, and so they have the experience. The only thing is a team. Now, here's the issue, because back in 2007. The Vegas Strip had personalities running the casinos. You had Kirk Corkian and Jim Moran over at the MGM. You had Steve Wynn at the Wynn. You had Sheldon Adelson at the Venetian. These 3 guys would get into it on everything. Okay, which is what I miss, because now it's just corporate. It's just MGM and Caesars, and their CEO has no idea where the Vegas Boulevard is. They just look at their screen and see, how much can we charge for this? Anyway, back then, I think it was 2007, we held the NBA All-Star Game, and it was held right during Chinese New Year. And the NBA, for all we complain about the trash that the Raiders bring in and the trash that the Oakland A's will bring in, basketball brings in those two combined, okay. 2007, the All-Star game. I was a chauffeur part-time back then, and I can remember being at the airport, and you just saw these people coming off of the planes from Chicago. You saw these people coming out of San Francisco, and you knew that they were women of the evening, their promoter, okay. You saw people that you just knew were not here for the game. We had motorcycle gangs going up and down the strip. We had literally thugs walking through the casinos that scared off the Chinese tourists. Now, if you don't realize this, Chinese New Year is the casino's version of Christmas. That's when they're going to make the most money, post F1. Okay. I mean, if you go through the casinos right now, the Super Bowl stuff is gone. Everything's geared towards the Chinese New Year. Okay. 2007, with all of this trash coming into town for basketball, the Chinese high rollers stayed in their suites. They were so fearful of all of this scum that was going through the casinos that they did not come out of their suites. And I remember, normally when we end an event like okay, Super Bowl ended yesterday, we're going to have remnants of the Super Bowl hanging around Vegas, static signs, banners, flags, all that's going to stick around until probably another week or two. Okay, it's just, there's things that doesn't have to be removed right now. Okay, and so the remnants will just kind of be there. 2007, the All-Star game. I remember driving my guest Monday afternoon from the hotel to the airport, and there was not one sign of anything NBA related. Sometimes they will put jerseys on the MGM flag line and on the Statue of Liberty. Those were gone. I mean, they had ripped them off like first thing in the morning. I'd never seen a town eliminate the advertising for an event as fast as Vegas did for the All-Star game. But see, now 55% of the strip is controlled by MGM, 40% is controlled by Caesars. The other 5% is like the Wynn, the Royal Resorts. Okay, so these two corporations, they have no idea what's going on the strip. They just are told by their their finance people that this would be a good investment. Okay, cool. Where back then the CEOs actually were here and they were involved in the community. They aren't anymore. So the new corporate people are just like, yeah, we need basketball. No, we don't. You really want to do that one again, man? Wow. I just, there's times you just want to go, look at the history, folks. Basketball is not good here. Other than summertime, the summer league, the NBA summer league, that's cool because you get all of, it's more of a play game than an actual game where teams show up. So yeah, that was just that just you just sit there and history, folks. You don't. When I lived in Minnesota, I moved here in 2001. I had a very good friend, and his name was Ed. And Ed came up with a wonderful, this is the 1990s. The Vikings wanted a new stadium. The Twins wanted a new stadium. The Milwaukee Brewers wanted a new stadium. The Packers wanted, all these teams wanted new stadiums. And And my buddy Ed said, what the NFL should do, and the the other sports leagues should do, is go out to Vegas, buy a big chunk of land, and put 4 stadiums out there. Because seriously, the Vegas Raiders are okay. They're a team with the word Vegas in it, and the players change every couple of years. My friend Ed and I are from the old days where, the Vikings had what was called the purple people eaters. You had that front line that was fearful, and these were people you could cheer for because they were part of the team. They were part of the community. Teams back then had that. They had the recognized players that got involved with the community, and you got to recognize them. And they weren't moving around like a chess piece back then. Now they move them around like a chess piece. Okay. So they really don't represent the town that they're from. Okay. So put 4 stadiums out in the desert, and the AFC goes up against the NFC. The East Coast goes up against the West Coast, and you can bet on whatever it is that you want to bet on. And, but all of the games are out there. That way, these individual towns don't have to build these multi-million, billion-dollar mausoleums for a rich guy that owns the team but doesn't want to pay for anything. It's just all of the teams are out there. Everything's betting. Okay. I didn't even get into that. The fact that, go back to our beginning there, the Super Bowl. My God, the NFL 10 years ago was like, oh no, we can't have football in Vegas because they have gambling. And again, Oscar Goodman went, if it wasn't for our gambling, you guys would have been broke 30 years ago. It's like Vegas saved your ass because we have gambling. Now everyone wants to be part of the gambling deal. And again, it comes back to the fact that these teams are just chess pieces. And so just do away with them. Just build four big stadiums out here, or here in the desert. Just go for it. Okay. Boy, I'm on a rant. We got good news on a 20-year-old project. Brightline West. This is our high-speed rail line going from LA here into Vegas. We've been told it's coming. It's coming for the last 20 years. We've been told that we're going to get this. Right before the pandemic, the company out of Florida bought the project, and they were called Brightline. And our division, the one in Florida, runs and is very, very successful. This one, they just got the final piece of financing in place, and right now they're doing the what's it called? Geo-drilling. They're going down the route that the tracks are going to be on, and they're boring into the ground to see what it's going to take to put the bridges on. And so that open by 2028 for the LA Olympics. And I think they're going to do it. So this is physically finally coming together after 20 almost 30 years of this might happen. This is happening. Okay. It's going to start in an area called Apple Valley, which is right outside of I want to say Barstow. I got a video on it. They own the land for the stations. They've got the right of ways. They've done the environmental stuff. They're doing the geo drilling. I can almost guarantee you the trains have been ordered, which is fascinating. So that's finally happening for all of you that made jokes about it, including me. It's going to happen. So I just kind of ran through it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so all right. I got everything off my chest. Yeah, so there it is. All right. I'm going to say goodnight. I'm Mark Anthony, the Vegas Tourist, thevegastourist.com. Leave me your comments and your questions in the show notes down below there. I'm doing some updating on the website as well as doing some updating on YouTube. You're going to see a lot more YouTube stuff. Some of it is just going to go some of it's going to be some old stuff. I'm going through my files and I'm finding stuff that I thought that I had posted years ago, but I didn't, which still is relevant. It's called green. Was it green topics or anyway? It's stuff that will be relevant even though it's old. So keep in touch, folks. Let me know what you think. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And there it is. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. I will talk to you next Monday, basically about the same time. All right. If you have any questions, you have anything that you'd like me to talk about, let me know. All right. Let's end this stream and call it a night. All right. Have a good night, everybody.